Dingus Creations.
What a crazy two, a crazy hey!
Crazy family tree. A crazy family tree. The stories I could tell you about my crazy family and me. My crazy family and me. My crazy family tree.
What's up, fam? Welcome, you're listening to My Crazy Family Tree, the podcast that tells you your stories and sometimes our stories.
Most of the times.
Most of the times. My name is Lotta.
And my name is Kiki.
Yes, it is. It is Keeksters. You were right. I'm so excited for this because I have so many good things to tell people.
I have two stories. Should I say the names of them?
I don't know. Should you?
Okay, I got one poop story
Ooh.
and one flash story.
A flash like flashing, showing your boobs and butt and stuff, or flash like from the sky?
The first one.
The flashing boobs and butts? Ooh, this is gonna
the
be...
boobs and the knobs and the nuts and the nickels.
And the nibbers.
Nibbers.
I'm bleeding. I always bleed because I scratch
Again?
stuff. I know. I am...
You bled last time you were here too.
Yes, because I scratch on things. Because I don't like when things are
unscratched.
Unscratched. I want to scratch it. I think I'm a lottery ticket, and one day I will win a lot of money.
Sometimes it will come.
While scratching.
One day the money will come out instead of the blood.
Yes. And we just pour out coins from my leg. Coins.
Not dollars.
And then
coins.
I will lose so much weight of all the coins I've been carrying inside my body.
Oh, that's why I gain weight.
Yes.
It's the money.
Yes. It's the richness. It's the richness.
Within me.
I also have two stories.
Cool.
I just wanted to say that.
Yeah.
But they're my own.
So now your father's happy. We have each two stories.
Yes. He's very happy now.
Well, I said one was poop, one was flash. What's yours about?
Well, mine is the bloody mechanic that we've been teasing about for so long. I think you're not sending in your stories just because you wanted to hear the bloody mechanic. But now, when I've told it, you gotta send your stories in.
Please send us your stories.
P-O-D, mycrazyfamilytree @gmail.com. It's not harder than that. So just do it, girls and boys and everything in between. All the human machines. Do it. Oh, I felt myself there.
AI.
Yes, you AI people can also send in. We've heard you gonna take over the world, so you're welcome to send in a story too. Like how you're supposed to take over the world.
Yeah. And we gladly take your confession stories.
Yeah, because I want to hear the jingle again.
Because we don't judge you.
No, we don't judge you. Just secretly, a little bit.
And openly.
And openly. Probably we'll say if we judge you. But you can be anonymous, so who cares if we judge you? I mean. Any hooties. Any hootie patooties. We are on we're going straight at it.
It's because I'm so excited this week.
Yes, you're excited.
I'm so excited.
Yes, we all want to sing the song.
I can't hide it. I'm about to lose
control, but I think I like it.
I'm so excited.
Yes, you can feel it.
I just can't hide
Oh, you can see it.
Whoa.
I like it. Oh, good. We're so good. Oh, my Jesus.
That was that just came over us.
Yes,
like
it
the
happens.
Holy Ghost.
It just happens.
Wasn't last episode we were talking a lot about the Holy Ghost and stuff?
Yeah, the G-O-D.
Yeah, you know me. Don't start.
No, we won't
Don't
start. We won't start.
I will do the whole thing again.
Yes, we will. We will.
We will.
But please, please, you gotta tell me what you've been up to this since how long have been 2
weeks.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Okay, what have you been up to?
Nothing.
Nubbin?
I don't think so. Mm-hmm. Have I? No. Nothing fun.
Nothing fun.
Not really.
Okay, I see. She's so excited she doesn't even want to share.
No.
No sharing.
No
sharing
oversharing
corner.
today.
Well, I'm going to share. Because you know where I've been. Where have I been?
Don't know.
I have been
To hell and back.
to the traveling carnival.
Oh, that's right.
Yes, in DDOs. And I thought that I was going to be punished by the big GOD because I have talked about it so much. I had jinxed myself so much about this traveling carnival stuff. And I was going to do my normal plan like I always do, like not tell my kids that there's a carnival in town. But my twins, as I told, in the last episode, they had a birthday party. 21 kids.
There were too many kids at that
There were
party.
too many kids
We
on
have
that
a fly
party.
that's joined us today.
Yes, but it just keeps, it gets, I mean, the feeling of it's summer. There's it's a fly summer. There's very much many flies.
Very much many.
Very much many flies.
Continue.
Yes.
You had a kids.
So I had
twins
this
at a party. There
Yeah.
were 21 kids, including them.
Yes, including them. So
That's
not many.
It was like a class of children.
It was too much. It was too much for me. But anyways, of course, the kids said, "We've been at the carnival before we came to your party," and like, "After your party, we're going to the carnival." And they looked at me like, "There's a carnival in town, Mom."
You're like, no, there's not.
No, that's just a ruse. It's a ruse. So I had to take them the day after, and I took them alone, all 3 kids.
You called me.
I did, and asked, "Are you going to take your kids?" And you said,
"Do you want to come along?"
Yes. What did you say?
I said, "No."
Oh, hell no.
No, that's not what I said.
Oh, hell no.
I just said, no, thank you.
Yes, you said exactly like that. No, thank you. So I was left by myself. But I was lucky.
Were you?
Both of it. I was not. I have one story that I have to tell about this thing. It was crazy cuckoo, and it was really hot, super warm. It was like we were in this big cauldron of heat, and there was so many people and loud music, and I was, my throat was sore for days after because I have to scream to all my kids, not scream angrily, but for them to hear me over all the noise. But anyways, lucky for me, I found other parents with children that my kids play with, so we could split up a little bit, and there was always a grown-up having an eye on them. And then we were done, but then a guy comes up and says, "We're going home, do you want my tickets?" Sure, I can take your tickets, I guess. I don't know why I said yes, but I did. And then...
Mistake number one.
And then we went on the whirlwind. I don't know if that's a thing in America.
Describe it for us. Paint a picture.
Okay, it's like a circus tent on top of this thing. It's like a circus tent. And under there is a metal plate that spins, a big one, of course. And on this spinning and also like waving, it goes up and down and round. And then on that, there's this little cart that also spins around their own, on their own accord. So it spins like triple times.
It's almost like the teacups.
It's almost like the teacups, but...
everything is spinning.
Yeah, but it's a growner kids version of the teacups, and everything is spinning. And of course, my kids, the twins, wanted to go on them. My bigger girl, she can go on the most rides by herself. She's a daredevil. Any hoot. So, my twins have best friends who also are twins. And they also wanted to go. And their mom was like, I'm not going on that one. And I was like, well, I can go on a ride, you know? So we sat down, and one of these friend twins, it's the tiniest person in the whole entire universe. She's so small and fragile and small. So we sit down, and it starts, and we sit in one of those carts that never stops spinning. It goes round, 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 round. And the first thing I see is that she gets pale white. And I take my hand and I put it, because she looks like she's going to throw up straight away. And it hadn't even started, because we were sitting in one of those that spins more than the other ones.
How do you know that?
Because there's I think it has something to do with how hard they screw them on or something. I don't know. And that's a little scary in itself.
Yeah.
But because when it sat down in it, I felt it swivel. So I thought, this is going to be a spinamaroosies. And then it starts, and the first like spin that it feels like you're going to be pushed out of the seat you're in, out to the other side of the seat. It was a real spin, and I enjoy those things. But when I see this little kid who she can definitely slip out if she loses her control of her body, passes out or something. So I keep my hand, I'm sorry, I pushed the mic. Keep my hand on her, and she is, and her eyes go up into her head.
They roll back?
They roll back, like those videos you see, and I hold her in. And it feels like it goes on forever, and she looks dead to me. And then it's time to go out, and the first thing she says is, "I want to do it again!" We didn't do it again, but that's my since last time. I'm sorry. I also spilled some coffee on my leg. That was a very long story to be something. That was almost a story.
That was a story in itself.
Oh my God.
I'm tired already.
Oh, I'm sorry. But we have a Don't Question Me corner before we get started.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. So we jingle it up. What a crazy two and crazy hey!
Don't question me.
And now I'm gonna take out the... We did a lot of things, but we were very much correct.
Isn't that... Thank you for telling us that.
Yeah.
I love that for us.
Right?
Yes.
Because cotton eye though, is not an STD. So that we were wrong on that one.
Oh.
But Kanayo stands for like being drunk on moonshine.
Oh.
Or having an eye infection.
Like pink eye.
Yeah, like pink eye, like having a milky eye.
Pink eye, gonorrhea.
Yeah, true. You can have gonorrhea in your eyeball. You can,
probably.
Well, if you get what is it called? Chlamydia. You can get chlamydia in your eye. Then you could call it carnayo. So you were right and wrong.
I'm always right.
Always right. Always right. And then I also want to give us a little pat on the shoulder because the buttons from the olden days, they could be made out of lead, but also arsenic that I said. And the dye we were talking about that I told, it was a green dye that was very popular in the 1800s, I think. And it was arsenic too. And people died, and they had it also in the wallpapers. So people got sick that had like, when he sleeps in the green room, he gets so sickened. I don't understand. But then maybe we shouldn't dye things in arsenic.
I think we had arsenic in a apartment that we shared, me and my brother.
Oh, scary.
In the walls. Yeah.
Probably they had those kind of wallpapers then.
No, paint.
The paint too.
Where I lived, it was very, very... I don't think I ever saw wallpaper.
No, in America,
houses.
it's not. Wallpaper is not that common, right?
Mm.
No, it's more in Sweden.
Maybe that's a rich people thing.
Maybe it is. Interesting. Anywho, let's see. Yeah. And makeup. You talked about makeup. About arsenic, definitely, but also our old friend lead. Oh. So we were both right.
We know a lot about lead and arsenic. Yeah.
We like to really, especially things we should put close to our bodies, was made out of poison. And then we also had about the bags, the sanitary bags.
Yeah.
There's both. But mostly you should change them yourself. Yes. Both here in Sweden where we live and in America. I checked both sides. But not many ask the questions like, are you supposed to throw them yourself? No, but most people were like, I came into sites who sold those things. And then it was like, you get a chunk of them and you have this dispenser thing. Yeah, so most of the times you're supposed to throw it yourself.
That's why it's always empty.
That's why it's always empty.
Because other people have the courtesy to throw their own shit away.
No, oh my God. That was an eye-opener. Eye-opener, definitely. And jingle us out.
Don't question me.
And now we are ready for the first story. And I started last time, so it's your time to start.
All right, this one is from Uncle Pete.
Okay.
Which that's just a nickname.
It's a nickname?
Yeah, it's called No Pain, No Poop.
Oh, that's true.
I went to Las Vegas with a group of friends in the 2000s. We were all in our mid-20s. After almost 2 days of drinking and gambling, I awoke by the pool with a pressing issue. I could not recall when or what I last ate. All I knew was that something was on its way. Or so I thought. Oh my God. After making my way back to the hotel room, took me about 30 minutes. It was not my hotel pool I woke at.
Oh, child.
I sat down ready for a quick dump. But no, nothing happened. I gave a little push. It was like trying to move a concrete wall. No give, no movement, no nothing. I started to panic as a sharp and nauseating pain started to build in the pit of my stomach. I pushed harder. Nothing. I started getting cold sweats. I pushed even harder. And now lightheaded, afraid of passing out. All the while, the pain kept building, but no movement. I was sweating like a pig, so I threw all my clothes on the floor. So this person, Uncle Pete, is naked and pooping. Like the worst. On the wall, next to the toilet, there was a handrail. I assume it has to do with access compliance? Compliance?
Yeah, like if you have, yeah.
I grabbed onto it for dear life and pushed to the point of fainting.
Oh my God.
Oh, he's naked.
And afraid.
You know it.
Naked and afraid.
Naked and afraid. It broke through.
Oh no.
Not much.
Okay.
Just the tip.
Just the tip.
It was broad, wide, and jagged.
Okay.
The pain was sharp and intense.
Yeah.
This on top of the already overbearing nausea and stomach pain. Now it felt like my butthole was getting torn to shreds.
Okay.
It was hard to think, but I had to focus. Even though I would have welcomed death right then, I knew I had to keep going. This must be what childbirth feels like.
Yes.
Uncle Pete, don't compare your pooping to childbirth.
No, because I've had those kind of poops and it's not like childbirth. It's not.
I took a deep breath and reached down to get an idea of what I was dealing with. I felt like wait, Uncle Pete is very bendy.
Very, very bendy.
Yeah.
Okay.
It felt like I had a large rock stretching out my sphinx. It was hard, dry, and unforgiving.
Yeah, because the everything, I'm guessing, they were in Vegas. It's desert.
Yeah.
It's in the desert. It's probably not very cold.
No.
And they have a diet consisting of alcohol.
And food.
Yeah. Well, of course. Yes, rock solid. Okay.
I needed to find a way to release some of the pressure. But how?
Yeah, but how?
The battle had been raging for almost an hour at this point. I was weak and had to hurry. I got an idea. If I somehow could get behind the log in my butt, it might help with the pressure. Well, what to use? My fingers were too big.
Ugh.
I needed something small, yet rigid. I saw some Q-tips on the sink. Okay, this was it. No. It was make or break.
Oh,
I
really?
grabbed a Q-tip and gently approached my severely outstretched and tender anus. I took a deep breath and tried to work the Q-tip in and behind. The pain was real. Like a locksmith, I tried to wiggle the Q-tip to a point where I felt some window of opportunity to use the last of my strength and push this demon out.
Yeah.
Snap!
Rid of you, Neiman! Oh no, snap.
Snap! The Q-tip broke in half.
Oh no.
As I looked in the disbelief at what remained of it in my hands, I made my last stand.
But aren't they made out of plastic, like
so
bendy
he
plastic?
Has a tip of an iceberg
Yes.
coming out his ass and a Q-tip stuck
There's
there
a lot
as
of tips.
well.
Too many tips.
A half of a Q-tip. I grabbed a new one and without thinking rammed it as hard as I could up my ass. It was like chopping very hard and very dry clay. I kept striking and suddenly I felt a shift. I now had my chance.
Yeah.
With one hand chopping, the other hand gripping the handle rail as hard as I could, I pushed. I felt like I was being ripped in half. A lightning white pain, head to ass. But it was finally over. I had expelled the demon. I just sat there for the next hour or so, contemplating life and how fragile we all are.
Oh no, it was an eye-opener.
Until one of my friends knocked on the door to inform me that it was time for an all-you-can-eat buffet, drinks included. What happens in Vegas sometimes really hurts.
And that poop is probably still in that toilet. They had to close off that room. They couldn't flush down. I love it.
So horrible.
So horrible. That only happened to me when I had to take, but I also had to use utensils to try to get it out. It was terrible. It was terrible.
Oh, knock on wood, but that has never really happened to me.
Okay, really knock hard on the wood, on the poop sausage. Knock hard on
the wood, on the
rock
sausage.
poop. On the rock poop. The poop sausage.
Poop sausage.
Oh my god. Okay, yeah. Maybe.
Did I have a hair tie?
I don't think you had a hair tie.
It's so dirty, but you can keep it up without a hair tie.
Yeah, you've been like fidgeting a lot with your hair, but it's been out the whole time.
Okay.
I love it though. She's beautiful. She has made this honey apricot color in her hair that is so Hollywood, so fancy, and so beautiful.
Thank you.
Oh my god. So beautiful.
So Uncle Pete, I'm thinking Uncle Pete has issues with his anus now.
Yes, still to this day. Probably.
Probably.
Can
you imagine? Well, you can because it has happened to you.
Yes, I can. I had to take cough medicine, and that cough medicine made it very rock solid. And I said, never again, never more, never ever again, because I had to use utensils. But I didn't use a Q-tip. I took something a little bit more sturdy.
Can you imagine jamming a Q-tip? And I don't.
You think it's like a vacuum. You think like it's not a vacuum. Like, do you call it a vacuum? A vacuum is something that pulls up dirt.
Vacuum.
Yeah, that's a vacuum.
No, I don't.
A vacuum is the thing you clean your floors with.
Yes.
But a void. No, you know when all the air goes out and
like
you have
to pocket, like an air pocket.
Yeah, and
like a suction.
Suction thing, and then you have to let in some air to get it out, like I did with my burp right now. You gotta open it up, isn't it?
No, keep on talking.
Yeah, okay, I'm keeping on talking. Keeping on talking. Go to Google Translate, right vacuum, and then you get the answer. What do you see?
Vacuum?
Vacuum. It is a vacuum.
Oh,
vacuum. 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 Yeah, I said right. So I don't mean the thing that cleans your floor, but I mean the things that very, very tight and very, very sad, and you gotta let in air.
I think that's what he was hoping for, that if he could just let some air in.
Yeah, he could get it out.
Yeah.
That's not how it works, girl.
I'm never going to Vegas, that's for show.
That's for show. Have you been?
No, never.
No, me neither. It's not my...
But I hear it's painful.
It's painful, and it's so much of everything. As you've seen and as I've been told, as you've seen in movies and as I've been told, people have been there.
Just like in the movies.
Yeah, and it's like, it's too much. And I think that will wake up the what's it called? Like the gaming devil. What's it called? No.
Gaming devil's coming
yeah,
for
you know, I don't
gambling
think...
devil.
Gambling devil. I don't think it would be good for me to go there, you know?
Oh, yeah.
I would spend it all.
You got a little problem?
Yeah, and I also love
a little gambling
food.
problem there?
I have a food problem too, because...
Food? Gambling?
Sometimes I ask my husband, do you ever get sad? I mean, just when the food comes to you. You've just put on your portion.
Mm.
And I ask him, do you ever get sad to think that soon this is not here anymore? I can't enjoy it soon.
Oh.
And he's like, no, because then I'm full. And I'm like, what's that? What's that like?
Oh.
I could keep on eating forever.
Ooh.
I love eating. It's like
I love eating too.
It's like someone is petting my head and saying, "Good girl, you're such a good girl."
Oh, it's a coping mechanism.
Yeah, it's definitely a coping mechanism. It's not good.
Okay.
And if I'm in stressful situations, like if there's something, and often it occurs in an awkward environment where people are like, I'm not feeling very comfortable. Then I tend to eat very fast and very much, and I do that anyways. But then it goes even faster and even more
Because it comforts you.
It comforts me. It pets me and says, "You're good, good girl, good." Very healthy. It's my turn. This one is called, are you ready for this? The Bloody Mechanic.
Oh,
And it's my own story.
okay.
I've told you before in this podcast that my dad was this military person that went out and sang for the troops, went to different war zones and sang for them. And that required training. So they had to go to this training camp, and it was in Skåne. Everything is in Skåne in my stories. It feels like.
Is that how he met your mother?
No. He met. Oh, that's a story I can take another time.
Oh, okay.
But anyways, we got to come with the whole family. So we lived in this. It's like a military ground. You know how how it looks like. It's like a fenced-in area where there was a canteen and there was these little small houses like
you can imagine.
Like you could imagine, like you see in the movies. Exactly like that.
Like the movies.
And we weren't the only kids there. Many of the artists, the performers brought their kids. They made it into a family thing. And it was, I remember it as magical because it was so much fun. And I guess my parents were all very happy with it too because it was a fenced-in area and we had kids to play with and it was just magical. But anyways, the training, my dad had to do military training, but they also had these performances like in the evenings. Every evening there was like this where they just jammed. They just played songs, and these were famous artists of Sweden of the time. So I mean, it was good.
Drop a name.
It was good music. Oh my! I don't want to drop a name, but it was fancy people, and it was so much fun. But I was really interested in the training bit of it all. I thought it was kind of interesting, and everything was open for us, so we could they met up, and they had different stations. Like now we're gonna do this. We're gonna build a gun in this much minutes and stuff. Yeah, they had to be able to assemble a gun.
Yeah. Did they teach you how?
Yeah, it's military training. So it's real. It's like
Did you do it?
Not me.
Oh my god!
I was just looking at the grown-ups. No,
I thought they were showing that. Hey, kids!
It was not a child military thing.
4 minutes.
Yes,
Maybe it was without you knowing.
they were training children military in Sweden.
What it was?
Yeah, maybe because most of the other kids weren't that interested. They wanted to roam around and do their thing, but I really loved my dad. And I thought it was fun to be with the grown-ups, check it out. But then one time they were doing something like that. I think they were trying to build like one of these machine guns and stuff. So everyone there were like stations. And my dad was very like hesitant of me being there. And he was like, you should go back home, go to our little cabin and go hang with mom. And I was like, boring. And he was very much like, go away now, Lotta, go away. But I stayed. And then a military jeep came up to the area where they were doing this training, and out jumps like one of these. I don't know all the ranks, but it was one of the top military.
The general.
The general. And he
don't know.
Before my dad was trained to be, he's an actor and he's been in a real good school in Sweden. But before all of this, the music and the acting and the stuff, he was actually a trained mechanic. So he was very interested in cars and everything that had an engine. And so this general jumps out and he says, there's something wrong with this car. I mean, you could probably take a look at it because I heard you're a mechanic. And this was when he was very hesitant for me to go. So he was like, get out of here, please. You go now.
Get out of here.
Skittle daddle, skittle goodle, get away.
Skedaddle.
So
Is that what you're trying to say?
skidabadaddle away, my little child, my little shillin'. So then I hung my head and I started like meep meep meep, walk away. Okay, so I see my dad. They put the hood up on the car, and I see him bending in there and like starting to fiddle around with the engine. And when I was almost out of the area, I hear a blood-curdling scream.
Oh my God.
And I turn around, and I see my dad hold up a clump of hand that's not I couldn't even see the hand. It was blood all over his hand. It was like pumping out. There was blood running.
Is he holding in a hand?
No. It's his hand. He takes up his hand from the engine, like not taking it up like loose, waving it around. The hand was still attached.
Okay.
But he took out his mechanic hand out of the engine and screamed. And there's like blood pumping, as I said. And I ran back the fast I can, and I just screamed for my dad. Like, Dad, you know. And all of the other performers, they ran up to him. And one of the performers, she just held on to me while I just tried to get to my dad. And they were trying to do like the first aid thing that they have to do, like keep the hand high, and they have to do with the things and the bandages and stuff. But they had to abort because all of this was just a ruse. And that's why he wanted me to go, because they had planned for their medical training part of this military training.
Oh, that's shitty.
So that's why he didn't want me to be there. So I screamed.
Girl,
and I
you have
screamed.
so much trauma. No wonder you love food.
But then my dad and the performer that held me, she was like whispering, "I don't think this is real, baby. I don't think this is real, little girl. I think it's just a training thing."
I'm sorry.
And I was
I
like,
don't
"No,
think
it's
this is for real,
bleeding."
baby. I don't think this is real,
I don't
little
think
girl.
this is real, baby. I don't think this is real, little girl. That's exactly how it was. And then my dad he was like, "Stop, let's abort, you know." So I ruined the whole training part, but I was scarred for sure. But that was the story about the bloody mechanic. It was
That's
all
horrible.
a ruse. Yes, it was horrible.
Like I said, you have so much trauma.
I have so much trauma. But can you imagine?
No, I don't
Because-
want to.
In the engine, they had hid one of these super big, because this was part of the training. They have to be like, of course you can sit there in like a little ring and like sing some army songs and build weapons, but you have to be in like, this is an actual accident, so you gotta act
in a war
on
zone.
your training, you know. We were not but we were pretending to be in a war zone.
Yeah, but they were in war zones.
Yeah, exactly. So they had to train, but it wasn't supposed. My small baby eyes were not supposed to see that. I was around 7 years old, I think, 6 or 7.
You weren't a baby then.
Okay, 6 years old, I think.
You're still not a baby.
Okay, I'm not a baby. If I was a baby, I would probably be like, "Yam!" or something. I don't know. But yeah, that was the bloody mechanic. I told it now.
Okay, first, your parents needed to set boundaries for you.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And you say, no, I don't want to.
Yeah,
That's
but
not even an option. And there's a bunch of adults there.
Yeah. But
You're not supposed to be there.
But he didn't want to like give away the surprise of the accident that wasn't a real accident, because I always got to be in there.
But I'm saying you shouldn't have been there
in the first
from
place.
The
yeah,
start.
he should have said, "Don't come here." But I think that he went away by himself, and I was like roaming the area and saw, there they are, the grown-ups. I'm coming there, because I liked it.
They should have scared the bejeebus out of you so you wouldn't go there. Well, now they did.
Yeah, they did.
But like, in the army, we listen to the general.
Yeah, but I don't think he even mentioned everything, because then I would be suspicious, I think. Because I always got to be with. But
all
it was
that trauma that could have not been.
Yeah, but it wasn't for real. But it was traumatic. Yes, it was. But the summers there, it was magical. It was magical.
Summers?
Yeah, many summers. We spent many summers there. and it was magical because the beaches there,
The bitches?
the bitches were bitchin', and there was hot.
The bitchin' were a bitch.
I mean, Skåne is almost like another country in our country. It is very like exotic for us from the northern parts because there's like big, wide beaches with these beautiful sand, and it's warm in the water, and it's cool, man.
Aside from here where it's cold.
Yes, exactly.
I think that they feel the same way coming up here.
Yeah, probably.
That
This is
it's
exotic. Yes, absolutely.
Because we have woods.
Yeah, and
Yes.
the weed.
The weed.
The
And we also have- not the
mountains and the
weed. We have the weed.
we have the weed. No, we have the mountains and the lakes and the. I mean, it's a whole.
Let's see. Land elevation.
Is that what's it called? Land elevation.
This is where the ice was the thickest during
Yes.
the ice age.
Yes. So we
So
have.
we have a lot.
Yeah, exactly. We
of
have the
land elevation.
We have the most land elevation. They have it in
and we actually live where there is
Yeah.
the most. So it's called the high coast.
where we sit right now. There were actually ocean before, or like a big lake or something. So yeah, we've been getting up in the air. Okay, are you ready to do your next story?
I am still upset about your story.
Yeah, it's kind of upsetting. I'm the one who's not. I'm not the comedic relief today because I have one that is. Okay, well, you see.
I mean, the stories you tell, Lotta,
Yeah.
are so traumatic.
Yes.
Maybe this is a way for you to work
Yes.
through it.
Get them
Your
out.
trauma.
Yeah, I love this podcast. Send us your stories. Okay.
And what's the address again if they want to send us?
podmycrazyfamilytree at gmail.com. Send us your stories, bitch. Yes.
Bitch.
Yes.
Okay. This one, I mean, aren't we just letting this go a little too quickly though?
What do you mean?
Your story.
Oh, we are? Oh, but what do you want to say about it?
Well, first of all, I want to apologize to your parents saying
Why?
that they should have put boundaries.
I think they put boundaries, but I was not a very easy bounded girl. It wasn't easy to be bound down at all.
And I want to put more responsibility on the people actually arranging the whole
Yeah.
on the top. The arranging the whole thing.
Okay, you mean they should have done that in another area.
Yes.
Yes.
Or taking all the kids to like an outing when they do that.
Yeah, but they had another like area, fenced up area that we went to sometimes. Like in another, they could have gone there. Like today, they're going in the bus away from this. But I don't think. I mean, I don't know, man.
You would have snuck on that bus.
The funny thing is that I don't remember anything after that. I remember the whole thing, but I don't remember how it got solved. I remember hugging my dad.
It's called trauma.
It's called trauma, PTSD. But I'm very not scared of blood.
Obviously, because
I scratch my...
Maybe that's why
Yes.
you love the sight of blood.
Stigmata, isn't that called, with the blood, with the Jesus thing? With the... No,
What?
okay, I took it too far.
No, I
The
just don't-
G-O-D!
You know me.
You know what?
Yeah, you know
Yeah.
me.
Feel it.
No, I'm thinking. I don't understand what that has to do.
I
I'm
wanna
thinking
see
you saw that
myself
much
bleed.
blood. You saw so much blood
Yeah.
that it kind of triggers something in you when you like scratch, so the blood comes out of your
Yeah, maybe
source.
it's some kind of coping mechanism.
Yeah.
Or fidgeting. I think it's fidgeting, but anyways.
What do you call that? You don't call it. You call it what people with autism do.
Fidgeting.
Is that what it's called?
Oh, no, it's stimming.
Stimming.
Yes, I do a lot of different stimming things.
You do a lot of stimming when you eat.
I do?
Mm.
What do I do? I want to eat because I love to eat. Yes. No?
No, not the eating part. You.
Yeah, I shake my leg. The other stimmings I do, I scratch my scabs.
Not when you eat though.
No, not when I eat. And when there's long periods of sitting still, like watching a TV show or something or a movie theater, I bite my cuticles.
Can you have maybe more stimmings that don't actually hurt your skin. Like, couldn't you just stand up and dance a little jig or something?
No, that's not fun.
Or
And it disturbs the people who watch the movie.
oh,
Okay.
all right. Enough about Lotta's PTSD
And stimming.
and stimming, and I just need to say something more.
Say something more.
I have read up about autism a little bit and ADHD, because we have in our family, because you're a part of my family now, in our family we have children, and most likely also adults.
A lot of it's pouring out of everyone's pores. It's everywhere. Yes.
So I've been reading up a little bit.
Yeah.
And what was I going to say? Oh, just because you stim doesn't mean that you're autistic.
No.
Autistic. So,
It's an ADHD trait too.
yeah, but also people without those diagnoses
Yeah.
can stim. So I was thinking, what do I have? Because I think I also stim. But I couldn't. I definitely stim. Oh,
Like flipping your rings on your fingers, that could be a stimming thing.
Yeah.
Like,
No, I don't do that.
or if you have a necklace, you could like twirl it, or
No, don't
something with your
do-
hair. Maybe
Maybe.
you do stuff with your hair.
Yeah, maybe. My
Like you
hair.
pull it up and then you let it out and then you twist
yeah.
it, you know. But that's only cute. Like, I'm a cute
That's a
girl
cute stimming.
playing with my little
No,
hair.
but I
and I
noticed
come with
that
zombie fingers, like, you're a cutesy touching my hair. Oh, I love you. And I'm like bleeding from my fingertips. Hello.
and your legs.
Do you want to come go out with me? It's a good thing I'm married. No one would have this.
Lock that one in.
Yeah.
No, I was thinking when I have been overstimulated, I have a tendency to act out. Like I go crazy bananas.
Yeah.
Like I need to get a reaction out of somebody.
Yeah.
I am all up in someone's
Yeah.
all up in someone's face,
Yeah.
for example.
Yeah.
Okay, enough about that. Now I put the camera on. First my flashlight and now my camera.
Your camera on? Why?
I don't know. Okay, here we go. This one is called A Flashing Kind of Night.
Ooh.
It was my dear friend's birthday. It all started at his house with a small group of friends. Only him and I were drinking beers that were not non-alcoholic. After a few hours, it was only us left, and I guess we were getting feeling, as we say in Sweden. So we headed out to the bars, or I should say, a bar. We had a real nice time. At one point, my friend and I were standing outside of the establishment. My friend getting the urge to have a smoke. So he looked around to see if there was someone to bum a cigarette from. Conveniently, there was a woman in her mid-50s maybe next to us that was smoking. I guess it is relevant to the story that she had most likely had a few drinks. My friend asked the lady if he could bum a cigarette, and she happily answered, "Of course." What happened next shocked us deeply. She had her smokes in her bra, and instead of pulling them out of her brassiere, she pulled her shirt and bra down and unintentionally or not flashed us while handing my friend a body temperature cigarette.
Oh my God. What was it, both boobies that fell out?
I think it was only the one.
Other one. Okay.
So it's like one, a
Plops.
half a flash.
Plops.
My friend either got really, really drunk or traumatized, because when we talked about that night and I reminisced about the flashing, he realized that he had blocked that memory out.
Was it that terrible of a boob?
I guess so.
I can see that lady.
I'm thinking a mid-50 boob can be nice.
Yes, definitely. Definitely. I
But
mean,
like, it seems like she didn't notice
no.
that she flashed them.
Or maybe she didn't care.
Or maybe.
I think she didn't care. Maybe that's always how she did it. Like plopping out the boobie, plop it out.
It's hilarious.
I can see how it's like flop. It just flops out. Oh,
Here's his cigarette.
yeah, it's your cigarette. I hope she like put it under like her little boob pocket. You know what I mean? When you get a little saggy titties. And they hang, and you do the isn't it called the pen trick, the pencil trick?
Girl, I could hold pencils.
Yeah, I
in
can hold
sixth
a
grade.
whole table under my boobs. A chair.
But I never heard boob pocket before. But I'm thinking that you're hoping she had her cigarette packet under her boobs.
Maybe she didn't even have a bra. Maybe it was maybe she pulled down her shirt because she had it under her boob pocket. That's a very nifty way to keep stuff and store them safe.
What I don't get is people that have their phones in their bra.
No.
That cannot be good for you.
Or for the phone.
No.
Moist.
For me, it would be moist all the time.
Yes, phones don't like moist.
There's only one place it should be moist on my body.
Ooh, child.
And that's my crack.
And that's my crack-a-doodle-doo.
In the front.
The front crack, not the back crack. The back crack is going to be it's going to be as dry as the Nevada desert, as in the first story. That's how dry it should be.
Oh, that's the story.
That's the story, and I loved it very much because it definitely paints me a picture. I can definitely see this happening, and I can see this lady. I imagine her in a certain way.
We should probably say that feeling, to get the feeling, as we say in Swedish, it means that, hey... Yeah. This is a nice night. We have this great vibe going.
Maybe I should take a smoke, even though I haven't smoked in many years.
Let's go out. And it never turns out good when you go out. But I guess they seem to have a good time. They also got flashed.
Yeah, and you also have to support your local businesses.
Always, always.
Yeah. So even
support your local businesses.
Yes, and support us by sending us your stories, and also be Patreons. Thank you very much. That was, oh my God, I dropped my phone from my couch.
Where?
No, I had it on the chair. I'm sitting with my legs spread a little bit. And then there was a little convenient spot where I could put my phone, so it looked like I gave birth to an iPhone.
Just flop.
Yes, but I do have pants that cover stuff, so it's not that dirty.
No, she doesn't.
Okay, I don't.
She's pantsless.
Yeah, I'm pantsless all the time.
She is going Donald Duck on
We're
us.
out in the country, so I can go here naked if I want to. This last story, it's not my story. But
Thank God, because I can't handle another trauma story from you. I'm so worried.
This is a beautiful story.
Okay.
And it's my mom's story, but she hasn't sent it in. I'm going to tell it in my way. So my grandma, she was starting to she had Alzheimer's, and she was starting, it was moving
Grandma, what side?
My dad's mother.
So your grandmother on your dad's side.
Yes, exactly. And she was a big part of my childhood, and she was a big, because my mom's family was down in Skåne still. Down south. And mom and dad settled down in dad's hometown, where I actually live to this day. And there lived my grandma. And she was just a wonderful woman. You can't even imagine.
She's the one that burned herself on the water.
She was the one who burned herself on the water. Exactly. That was like planting a whole park in one of her rooms in her house. I mean, all of that could just tell how beautiful a woman she was. And she was this theater personality, and she was a local celebrity in our town. And she was a fun grandma. And when she started to get the symptoms of her Alzheimer's, it was very shocking. And she was not acting like herself, and she got lost. She thought that she could walk to her hometown. It was like Eskilstuna. It's like 40 miles or 40 Swedish miles. Metric system miles and stuff. She got weird ideas and stuff. But anyways, this was a time before we had to sell her apartment, and she moved to a home. But she was not able anymore to walk to our house that was like 2 blocks away or something like that. So it wasn't a far way to walk. But this day, my mom was going to go to a show that my dad held, and it was this free like allsång. Do you do that, like all sing? Just to do a direct translation, it's like
you gather
and you sing together, and often there's a there's an artist or a performer that comes, like some kind of celebrity that has their own little show, but then between those things they have you sing together from you get a little pamphlet with songs and stuff. And Kiki actually has one of her own here in Norabygden. She has
successful.
Yes, a successful one that every year, every summer they get one. But my dad had those, and it was once every Thursday for like a month. I think it's July.
And it's usually a summer thing.
It's a summer thing, yes, because you're outside and you go in which weather it is. You get dressed for the weather, and you gather. And my mom was supposed to go get my grandma and take her up to enjoy this show because she wanted to come still. But my mom had for lunch, she had bought these frozen shrimps with, shells on and everything that you could buy at the grocery store. You can, and when she ate those shrimp, she thought that there was something off. But they tasted like normal, but there was something not right, But she ate them, and then she started to feel very sick. So she got the sweats.
Oh no!
She got everything. There was pukage going on.
I hate
it was terrible.
When you feel how it starts like
terrible
in the soles of your feet, and it goes up your whole backside. Yeah, and up your
and
back,
the mouth sweats.
And then it just. You're like, it's coming.
The mouth sweats are the worst.
It's coming.
Oh, she was in that, and she was really sick, really sick. She couldn't get up from the toilet, and she had to call my grandma to tell her she couldn't take her to this all sing. And mom was home alone. I was out with my friends. My sister was out with her friends. A sing-along.
That's called a sing-along,
yes,
maybe?
A sing-along, but not like, a sing-along.
It's a sing-along.
Yeah. So she calls my grandma and says, I'm sorry, I can't come and get you. I'm so sick like a dog. I'm sweating, I can't. And so my grandma, she takes this phone call and she's like, I have to do something for my what's it called? My daughter-in-law. I have to do something for her. So she puts on her little, she knitted a lot. So she knitted her own clothes. And so she put on her little knitted vest.
Oh, nice.
She was very, very beautiful lady, always straight back. And she was like, she was an elegant lady. And she started to walk. She walked out of her apartment. And for the first time in at least 2 years, she was decided to find her way. And all of a sudden, my mom hears the door open. She was on the toilet, and she sees my grandma coming into the house. And she gathered some towels. She was like wiping out the sweat from her forehead. She was putting on like these cold towels on her head, and she was just taking care of her
of your mother.
Of her daughter-in-law. And I get a little teary-eyed because this was it was magical. It was divine intervention, because my grandma, she collected and gathered all of her strength because she was really, it was a fast, the sickness was really going through her like a train. It was a fast deterioration of her, the one she was. But this is just a magical story that I like to think about sometimes. She got it together, and she found her way home to my parents' house. And just a short while after, she moved into a home, and after a while she actually lost her speech. But she could always sing. And she if you started to sing, it was like there was nothing going on with her. She could like hook onto those lyrics, and she sang. But that's the story of my grandma, how she like fought her sickness to get to my mom to help her.
That's a horrible sickness.
It's a horrible sickness, yes, indeed-o.
I'm wondering, was she ever like at the point where she knew she had it?
Yes.
And she was kind of like embarrassed about it, or did she
Yes, she knew about it. I remember a time when I came to her and she said, I think there's something wrong with me, she said to me, because sometimes I scramble up names and I forget phone numbers that I've been called many times and stuff. And I didn't think so much about that. But then a short while after things, as I said, it was a very fast escalating. Yeah. So, and then it got discovered and she knew that she was sick. But since it was so fast, she kind of also got into her own little world quite fast too. Because it was embarrassing for her, because she was somewhat of a celebrity in our town. Everybody knew about her, who she was, and she was always dressed so nicely and wore like beautiful jewelry and, you know. Yeah. But, yeah.
I heard, I don't have any experience of like family members getting Alzheimer's or dementia and stuff like that, but with Alzheimer's is different than with dementia.
Yeah.
Right?
You can get angry and stuff, and you can get, but mostly it was like hallucinations for her and stuff. And these almost like story time in her head where she thought she could do stuff that things like scrambled. Sometimes we could laugh with her about those things. Like one time she thought that her dishwasher needed some butter, so she fed it butter. Oh. Yeah, stuff like that. We could laugh about that and stuff. But it was tragic. It was very hard for my dad. I was in the middle of my life, like in the teenage years, going into grown-uphood, adult.
So you were going through your 20s or 18?
Yeah, I was like 18, 19, something like that, when it was like before she died. And I was actually there when she died, and that was something very special too. I sat there, and then that also made me believe more in something after this world, because you could definitely see that when it was the last sigh, she did many of these. She had, what's it called? Andningsuppehåll. Yeah, this like, I don't know, those long periods of time where she didn't breathe, and then like all of a sudden she took a breath, and then it was a long period. Is she gone now? But when she took her last like sigh, we knew because there was something that left her. There was something that left. She's a beautiful woman. Praise. Shout out to Inga, wherever you are. You were and you are a wonderful person.
Maybe she's the fly.
Maybe she is.
Hello, I'm right here.
I'm right here.
Oh, she wouldn't be talking like this now, would she?
Yeah, she would.
No,
she's a sudden belle now.
No. She would be talking like this, wouldn't she?
Yes, she would. She was a funny woman. Oh, my God. Anyways, are we going to wrap this little bad boy up?
Yeah, we are.
Wrap it up, girlfriend. I like this one. It was fun. Oh, she was like taking a deep breath, ready to say the goodbyesies.
Welcome back.
The welcome back. Okay, let's wrap it. Okay. Used to, right. Until next time, keep the crazy coming. That was a good one. What a crazy two, a crazy hey.
Crazy family.
You've been listening to My Crazy Family Tree. Follow us on Instagram, podmycrazyfamilytree, on YouTube, podmycrazyfamilytree, and on Patreon, My Crazy Family Tree. And don't forget to send in your stories to podmycrazyfamilytree@gmail.com.
Oh, you think that one is crazy? Let me tell you a story.
In Texas.
Ain't no holding. Måste se om the doors and nuts and something and nickels.
Oh my God.
I loved it. Let it out.
Cut that.
No, I won't.
Cut it.
Nope. We're going to keep that in because I burped before too. And
but you burp all the time.
Yes, so they got to see that you're human too.
In the pod.
Yes, I know. Please let me keep it, please.
No.
Please let me keep it, please.
Negative.
Please. Oh, whatever. We'll talk about it later. Oh, I will shorten it a little bit, but I won't delete your burp.
You will.
No, this is so funny.